How's it going, everyone? This is Jason Navarro. You're listening to Tongues Out Podcast, and let's just jump right into today's subject, which is just, a follow up on yesterday's podcast about just some nerdy stuff. So if you're not into nerdy stuff, I would recommend not listening to this podcast. But honestly, this is pretty short, anyways. It's just a follow up. It's been a pretty long day for me, super busy. Had a lot of things I had to get done, but ultimately nothing but still writing out on some positive news for the family, which is great. um but yesterday's podcast, I talked about a game that I was super excited to see come out today, a game called Baldurs Gate 3. And so it's based in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, and for a lot of people that don't know what that is, it is hardcore nerdy stuff. No, it's a tabletop game where essentially you're role playing a fantasy character, and everyone's role playing different characters. Well, this game is based within the universe of Dungeons and Dragons and utilizes its rules and everything of that nature. But it's a visualized, interactive game that you can play within the universe. Well, I went into a lot of detail about the game yesterday. And today, I just wanted to follow up and first say that I've been so busy today. I haven't had a chance really to play much of it, but the little bit that I played, man, I am so excited to play this game as much as I can whenever I have the chance to play it. Just right now, personal stuff and definitely work as well is taking up a lot of my time. So I don't think I'm going to be really putting in more than an hour a day into this game, but that's fine. This is the type of game that you can just save, come back to, and just continue on your adventure. But in essence, honestly, it's an early access game too, which means that it's not a fully released game. There's still bugs. There's still a lot of things that are wrong with the game. You don't even have full access to all the different classes, spells, races that are available in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. But just the little bit that I played, I made a drow ranger, and that honestly, my ranger class, there wasn't really much I could do outside of just shooting a bow a million times, but I could just see the potential in the game, and I'm just so excited to see a game being developed by a world renowned company, and I'm just super stoked. So I just wanted to bring that up. I also had some difficulty actually downloading the game today. The game came out. I was watching the clock tick. I wanted to install the game. I didn't necessarily think that I was going to be playing the game after installing it, but I wanted to install it so whenever I had free time, I could first thing come to it and play it without having to waste an hour or however long it was going to take. I don't know how long it was going to take to download. I have like ultra fast internet, but still it's all based off of the servers and Steam, which is the platform I use to download games. But anyways, so and then I'm so nerded out that I actually watch for the time. I read up on the news on the time that the game was supposed to be released, and it was 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I was like refreshing the store page, refreshing, like every second on at like 9:50. The moment was like 9:50 a.m. Refresh until finally 10 a.m. rolled. Hit that refresh button, and I was like, boom, take my money, give me my game. And I couldn't buy the game. It was like Steam was having an issue. I've never run into this issue whatsoever. And it made me think, oh my God, how many people are playing this game right now? How many nerds have been so excited to see Baldur's Gate 3 and anticipating this game coming out? There must be a ton. I actually need to follow up on the analytics. I should have probably looked that up before I started this podcast. But I'm very curious to see how many people downloaded the game just today on just Steam. It's probably an astronomical number because like I said, I've never run into a situation where like I try to buy a game and I just can't buy it. It was like erroring out. At one point it said like my credit card rejected the payment. I was like, what are you talking about? This credit card's great. I've never had this issue ever. Like, what are you talking about? I ended up finding out it was a back end system. Finally, after a million tries buying this game At 10:05 in the morning, I finally got the game purchased, got a confirmation email. I was like, oh my God, great. Once you get that confirmation email, you know it's in your library, and then you can go in there and try to install. But even then, it took a while for them to kind of like release the game to my computer. It took like another 5 minutes just for that process. And then in like 2 minutes, the game downloaded to my computer. So like 10:10 in the morning, the game was downloaded. And not going to lie, I was going to try to be like semi-productive, but I launched the game. I had to try it. I had to play it. And so I launched it and I got hooked. Played like an hour and a half of it, and it was awesome. Just waiting this long for another Baldur's Gate game was really difficult. You know, it came out in 98, the first one did. The second one came out sometime early 2000. And then essentially we've gone like almost 18 years without a third iteration in this universe. And like they skipped an entire Dungeons and Dragons rule set. So like Baldur's Gate 2 was in based off of Dungeons and Dragons rule set 3. Rule set 4 didn't have any game based on it, like in the Baldur's Gate universe. And then this one came out with rule set 5. And rule set 5, I think, has been out for like 4 or 5 years, I think now, 4 years. But it's just, you could just see the potential. Like I said, there's a lot of bugs. There's still a lot of stuff that they haven't implemented yet. But you can definitely see where this game is going. And I'm so excited to just see every update coming out for this game and all the stuff they're going to be rolling out. And it's a pretty big file too, by the way. Like it was like a 100 gig file for this game, which or it's like 85 gigs. I think it's required for the game, but they recommend that you have at least 150 gigs of storage, which I mean, I'll uninstall games if I need to, but I don't. But anyways, yeah, just wanted to, I said it in yesterday's podcast. I was like, today's podcast is probably going to be me talking about Baldur's Gate. I honestly thought today I was going to have more time to play it so I could give more insight. All I could say is that the campaign starts off. I've already kind of seen a majority of this stuff because I've been watching the developers play the game, and they normally showcase like the early points of the game. So I'm not really seeing much new. I am kind of seeing some combat scenes that I didn't get to see in those developer releases. So it's like really cool to kind of see some of these engagements, some of these fights, and some of these plots and storylines. I don't know. I'm super stoked. Just like, if you can't tell, like I'm so nerded out right now. It's ridiculous. But anyways, thank you guys for listening to another short podcast, and I will catch all of you guys mañana for something not related to Baldur's Gate. I promise. It shouldn't be. I pinky swear, even though you can't pinky swear with me. So no, I'm joking. I will promise I won't talk about Baldur's Gate tomorrow. I'm gonna give it a week. I might do like a weekly update on like where I'm at and stuff. Or like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna be talking about a lot more of it in the future. I got a lot of Baldur's Gate just kind of got me back into like this. I'm like doing my role playing sessions every Sunday with my friends. Got Baldur's Gate now, and I have like an idea for Dungeons and Dragons that I want to try as well. So the inner nerd in me is getting super excited. So I'm sorry for all those that are listening to this podcast. I promise it won't be a daily thing. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will catch you guys mañana. Peace.